Hello, everybody on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Super Bowl 55. Check it out. Well, the NFL season has come and gone once again. And I gotta say, this was one wild season with the pandemic going on with the coronavirus, and we got all the teams are getting COVID tests and to get all the COVID stuff and all that and everything. There was a lot of teams that got it, and it affected a lot of teams, including my Patriots, including some teams like the Ravens in the end, and the Colts, pretty much. And you can see Kansas City in the end, in the Super Bowl with that. But, nevertheless, though, this was one of the most wildest NFL seasons we had. But, nevertheless, we got all 256 games in the regular season. We had all the playoffs being played. We had a full season. They did as they planned and did pretty well with that, And it was a lot of things happened, too, and all that. But people getting sick and all that with the coronavirus and stuff like that. But, despite all that, with the pandemic, with the coronavirus and everything else going on, they still managed to do that. So I congratulate the NFL for doing that. They finished the season strong and not canceling a game. Well, they had to cancel a few games, but they definitely made it up. But what I'm saying is they handled it pretty well. They did what they needed to do and just went with it. So, anyways, my thoughts about the Super Bowl. Tom Brady getting his 7th ring, and Gronk getting another one. I believe that's his. Hold on, let me think about it for a minute. I think that's his 3rd. I think so. I could be wrong with that, but I lost count. But anyways, nevertheless, honestly, Tom Brady, Super Bowl MVP. Hold on, just a minute. I am so sorry about that. I had a lot of noise going in the background there. It's snowing there. I wanted to pause it for a little bit just to get all the noise out of the way. But anyways, nevertheless, I was saying that Tom Brady got the MVP. Good for him. That'd be his 5th MVP overall. Honestly, maybe they should change the MVP ruling to his case, Call it the Tom Brady Award. I don't know. That's my opinion on that. But anyways, Tom Brady had a good game, but I think there were a lot of guys that could have got it too. Like Leonard Fournette could have got it. He could have got that, and Devin White should have got it, the linebacker from the defensive captain for the Buccaneers and stuff like that. I think, I pretty much say those two gotten a snub out of that, but, that's my opinion. That wasn't what I was telling you about. Anyways, nevertheless, I honestly think that Devin White got snubbed out of that deal. That's just really me, but, out of that, but Leonard Fournette had a hell of a game too. If I were to choose another offensive MVP, it would have been Leonard Fournette. Could be Gronk too, with a couple of touchdown passes. He could have gotten that, but nevertheless, that was a defensive game pretty much in the upright. I was kind of disappointed how the Kansas City Chiefs, especially on defense, how they did. And Patrick Mahomes too. I expected it be a little bit of an offensive explosion and a little bit of defensive battles at the same time, but it fortunately didn't come out that way. Then, shortly after, we found out that Patrick Mahomes was dealing with the stuffed toe injury, and now all of a sudden he's going to have toe surgery with his fixed stuffed toe, which is going to happen in the next couple weeks or something like that. He could be back before training camp. That's still we're going to be hoping for Patrick Mahomes for that. So, anyways, you could just see Patrick Mahomes. He was running for his life out of that game. He was scared for his life pretty much in that game. It kind of reminded me what Peyton Manning was doing in Super Bowl 48. In a way, if you think about it, how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how the Seattle Seahawks, handle the Peyton Manning offensive explosions like that. That's what this year's Buccaneers did, in my opinion. They did something like that. And Patrick Mahomes didn't have any answer. He found open targets, but he hit the face masks all the time and everything else. There's nothing to take away about Patrick Mahomes, though. Great quarterback and everything else, all that. But I gotta say, it's just this is getting one of those things you be like, he'll come back strong and maybe come back next year to win the Super Bowl. My opinion. But it's how I roll it, but, it is what it is with that. But, hold on. But anyways, sorry, I had a little something in there. But anyways, I think they're gonna be in the playoffs for a while. I think under Patrick Mahomes, I think they're still gonna be a playoff contender. Like every time he's gonna be there, at least that. But now if I'm gonna say they're gonna be a one and done team, I don't think so. Especially on defense, if they can get that defense to stay healthy next year, I think they could be back for 3 years in a row, like the Patriots did. I think they're gonna be doing something like that. And everything else going to happen like that. But I think the way it's going to go this coming year, it could have a rematch, but it could be not. But who knows? But nevertheless, those two teams and Super Bowl 55, they had some good things for Tampa Bay, bad things for Kansas City. And now because of that, there were a lot of and some facts happened in that Super Bowl too. The 2020 Kansas City Chiefs joined the 2018 Rams in the 71 Dolphins and never scored a touchdown pass in a Super Bowl. Yikes. That's not a club you want to be in. But nothing to take away from anything the Chiefs like that. They got there where they got there. They well deserved it to be there. But it's just, that's not good to be on that category. But nevertheless, for the Buccaneers side, they were the first team to host a Super Bowl in their own stadium. And they were the first team to win the Super Bowl in their own stadium. So that's pretty good accomplishment feat for that. They were the first team to never do that. I mean, that's really an accomplishment on that. And also they're representing the first responders in the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool. Well honored. And with all the first responders going in there, how they handling the coronavirus and stuff like that, that was pretty honored for them to do that. I mean, I appreciated that for the NFL for doing that, Pretty much upstanding on that. But, a lot of facts going into that. Tom Brady, the oldest MVP again. So, being at the age of 43. So, that's another scenario on that one. But, I would not be surprised if they do come back. But, nevertheless, there are some teams that are going to make a threat for the Patriots. The Buccaneers and the Chiefs. I was thinking the Patriots, too, if they draft a quarterback, which I'm thinking Connie Mack from Alabama. Hold on, I think that's his name, but I'm going to look it up again. Which I did hear reports that... Oh, Mac Jones, excuse me. Mac Jones. So, Mac Jones, there was some talk about the Patriots are going to draft him. We'll have to see on how the Patriots do in the draft and free agency. If they do that, they could make a big mark on there. There's Buffalo. Make a good mark for Kansas City to help out. Tennessee. I think Tennessee can get back in there. But it all depends, And for Kansas City, it all depends. If there's a team, I have to guess about a team that could beat them out in the division, probably the LA Chargers on that one. The way that Dustin Herbert's been doing. But, it's kind of disappointed in Anthony Lynn getting fired on that. I would have loved to see him and Justin Herbert to do something together. But, this didn't work out that way. I was kind of disappointed, but I hope they recover from that. But you know what? They could. It's a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. But on that. But now, it'll be in the other interesting offseason for the AFC side, though, that the Deshaun Watson discussion. So we have a lot of discussion on that, who's going to get traded and all that. Where is he going to go next year and all that. But, it is what it is with that. So there's some teams I'm thinking that can make a big threat for the Kansas City Chiefs next year, not to go back to the Super Bowl. So, and for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side, there's obviously the Green Bay Packers. So it's a good possibility. It could be the Seattle Seahawks. Their defense can step up when they need it to. So, yeah, anyways, I'm trying to think what else now. But I would probably think the Washington football team, maybe, if they get a young quarterback with that defensive team, they can probably do something with that. Maybe Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia's on the market that Carson Wentz wants to get traded. So maybe they can move up with that. And if they do that, that could open the door for the Eagles quarterback currently Oh, I can't think of his name. I gotta look him up again. So, yeah, but anyways, nevertheless, but Jalen Hurts, yeah, I think this can open the door for Jalen Hurts, so he can go in to take the Johnny. If I'm thinking what everyone's thinking he is, he could be a good contender in the NFC East next year. The NFC East is going to be a very interesting offseason, especially that the division was terrible this year, so that could be another opportunity on the NFC side on that one. So, anyways, that could be my predictions for threat for Tampa Bay to go in there, and I also forgot that maybe the New Orleans Saints. So I don't know about the Drew Brees situation. That's going to be a good one as well. But maybe he could be retiring and maybe unretire. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But anyways, in my opinion, I think Tom Brady's staying next year, and if that's the case, if Tom Brady stays in Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and him are going to come back to New England next year. That's going to be a very interesting game to watch. Guaranteed that's going to be a primetime game on that one. So, anyways, there's a lot to look forward to on that. There's going to be a lot going in there. So, I think that we're in a really good, going to be a very interesting offseason in the NFL when the calendar flips to March. So, I think that's going to be something to look forward to when it's coming March. That we're going to have the NFL offseason to see how teams are going to go and where. And all of a sudden, April and May, they're going to have the NFL draft to see where the teams get drafted at that point. So there's going to be a lot of good things going on in there. Especially on the Patriots side, it's going to be the most interesting one to see what they come up with. So that's going to be really good on that one. So I can't wait to see what the Patriots are going to do in the draft. It's going to be one of the most interesting drafts with the Patriots in a very, very long time. So, anyways, that's good. We're going to be looking forward to that. I will definitely make some NHL videos coming up. I don't know when. NBA videos too. March Madness, it all depends. I haven't really watched March Madness this year. I only watched only do the brackets every year. That's pretty much it. But we didn't have the March Madness last year due to the beginning of the pandemic and everything else like that. What happened last year? And now all of a sudden things are slow and getting back in pace. But we'll see. But anyways, nevertheless, I hope next year that all sports fans can come back to the stadiums. I'm hoping for that this coming year around in 2021, at the end of 2021 maybe. I'm hoping that could happen. But, we'll have to wait and find out, But hey, that's all I can give you right now for my thoughts about the NFL offseason and my thoughts about the Super Bowl 54. Hope you enjoyed that. But hey, once again, this is Andrew Warren signing off. Enjoy the offseason. And I'll see you all in my NHL videos, and rock out.